name is Tracker. Well, that's my trail name. And I work with the Bureau of Land Management as an interpretive specialist. Normally, I'm out in the field with students or working on a brochure or a sign. But today, I'm staying home because of COVID-19. So I brought some things from the house to show you to learn about flowers. Do you have chores or a job at home? I'm sure you do. Well, flowers have a job as well, and their job is to make a seed. They use different parts of their flower to make the seed. In fact, did you know that flowers have girl parts and boy parts? Well, we're going to learn these parts, and the one to start with is a girl part called the ovary. There's the word, and there's a symbol for female or girl. Another part of the flower that's female or girl is the pistil, and I'm going to use this reusable straw for that. That's it for the girl parts. The boy parts include more filaments or little stalks called stamens. They're boy. And very important, we have powder on top of the stamens called called pollen. When the pollen goes to the pistil and down to the ovary turns into a seed. Flowers have helpers called pollinators, like this bee. The bee visits the flower to get the pollen, flies away, and in that process, pollen may go down the pistil to the ovary to make a seed. Flowers attract bees and other pollinators with bright colored flags like petals. And the petals function like a flag to alert the bee that the flower is waiting for it with nice pollen for it to collect. And the story of what happens with pollen after the bee collects it and takes it to the hive is a magnificent story you can read on your own. On this shrub, there's many, many flowers, and a lot more than you might think. There's two names for this plant. I call it Incelia. It's also called brittle bush because in the summertime it gets very, very brittle. Each of these daisies has about 100 flowers on it. Each petal has its own flower parts as well as the discs inside. And this Incelia flower works together to get pollen from the center or the disc part of the flower to the ray petals. You can see seeds on this plant as well. Well, we're in a wash right now, and this is a haven for a flower called prickly poppy. This is a gigantic flower. I really like it because you can see the flower parts. The stamens are white, the pollen is orange, and inside is a dark pistil, surrounded by beautiful papery petals. Underneath this prickly poppy are seeds from previous prickly poppies. After they dry out, they'll fall to the ground and grow prickly poppies next year. Now down here we have dried seed pods from last year's prickly poppies. Hey, I'm glad I get to show you this flower today for several reasons. It's a colossal sized flower and the parts are colossal sized as well. Its name is Jimson weed and it has big flower parts. Notice the white stamens, the white pollen, and the white pistil. This flower blooms at nighttime, so all these parts reflect a little bit of moonlight. Can you think of some animals that would come and visit this flower at night to pollinate it? Well, if you thought of bat and moth, you're right. Another thing to know about this plant is it's poisonous. That means it has chemicals in it that are harmful to humans. So this is a good plant to know so that you can avoid it. This flower is a favorite of a lot of people who live in the desert, and it's called Canterbury Bell. These Canterbury bells have been growing for about 2 weeks. So down here, we have the seeds. Up here we have a lone pistil connected to the ovary there. And sure enough, on top is a new flower, a couple new flowers, ready to be pollinated and to make a seed. So this is a good time to collect your own seeds. Put them in a container and save them for the fall. I've also collected some lupin seeds. Or you can buy seeds or start your own collection and put them in your own envelopes. I'll bet you know what this plant is. Yes, it's a cactus, and cactus have beautiful showy flowers. The beautiful petals attract the pollinators, and inside you'll find the pollen on stamens, and there's a green pistil with the ovary down below. Well, I'm really glad you got to join me today as we learned about flower parts and explored my yard and searched for flowers. Now it's time for you to go outside in your yard and look for flowers as well. Oh, and there's one thing I almost forgot. Our flower parts are still on the table, and cleanup is always an important part of a job.